You can't do that. No, not in a million years. Go away. What did you guys think would happen? You guys are level 19. Stop. Not until Bishop Sasarai gets his true Earth Rune back. That's right. No way. I won't let you. Never. Master Thomas is right. Never. Why do you persist? Don't you want to live any longer? I won't back down. I promised everyone in the castle that I'd protect them. I'd keep my promise. I made a promise to protect Master Thomas, and I stick to my oaths. You're gonna die doing that, though. Promises, promises. Is that all that matters to you? Damn, now I lose the fire rune. This is getting ridiculous. Where are you going now? With this earth rune alone, the force field can be broken at any time. The ritual must be done quickly. Are you sure you can leave me here? I'll get my true earth rune back. I hate you more than anything in this world. Oh, that's pretty dark. That's deep. But at the same time, you're the only one I empathize with. Alright, that makes perfect sense. Luke, I hate you, yet empathize with you. This will be the final battle to decide whether humans can change their destiny. I'm a demon, prepared to sacrifice as many lives as it takes. You'll see it happen and you'll die here. Is that the end? Because it just leads to the final boss. Yeah, it's gonna skip over. This is gonna be like a retread, though. Is this auto-scroll? No, it's not. I am bound by destiny. Too much blood and too many tears have fallen. Wait. You're not gonna make me watch the ending where they escape again, are you? Yeah, this is some unique stuff. Man, that's tragic. That's dark and tragic. Oh, hey, Sarah. Master Luke. Sarah, are you alright? Sarah, I tried to gather the power of all 5 elemental runes to destroy the true wind rune I bore in my body. I can only draw out its power. My soul couldn't cope with such intensity. So what will happen now? These runes will collapse. Sarah, you must escape. You are free to go. No, I'll stay. I chose to follow you and let 1,000,000 people die. I must be punished for this. Alright, calm down, girl. Sarah. It's gonna be the ending, isn't it? I don't really see what else they can do. I was living in that palace alone. No one cared for me, even though they were after my power. Only you. I might have been after your power too. It doesn't matter. I chose you because you brought me joy. I must accept my punishment. It's dark. Some dark stuff. But still, you should... Do I have to press X? I have to press X. I keep thinking it's like auto scroll, but it's not. Sarah? I sincerely thank you, Sarah. My soul will be healed. I'm convinced now that I too have a soul of my own. Credits? Credits. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna let these play. I gotta go grab something real fast, and then we'll talk about the game. Oh, grab myself a snack. I was getting hungry at the end of that. Alright, Suikoden 3. First, let's talk about what we just played. That was really cool. I like that they added a little story for Luke. Really did well at fleshing him out because the game didn't do a great job of fleshing his motives out. So, I'm glad we got that little chapter. But that presents a problem, that if you don't get all Stars of Destiny, you don't get that insight into him. Which is kinda lame. That was a really good chapter. I don't think Luck is like an amazing villain. Luck. I don't think he's an amazing villain. I think he's pretty good, especially after playing that chapter. If that chapter didn't exist, or I didn't play that chapter, I'd be like, he's lackluster. Because they don't really do a lot in the main chapters to flesh him out. But yeah. It was really cool. It was really cool playing that chapter. I just want to point that out real quick. But yeah, Suikoden 3, this is a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I have issues with it. It's not perfect. There's a lot to like in this game. I think... I gotta be honest, the gameplay, like, I liked the gameplay enough. It took a while to get used to. I think the gameplay of Suikoden 3 is... I think I would just prefer the way the other Suikoden games work. I think the pair thing was interesting to try, and, like, the skill system was really good. I love the skill system in this game, but... At the end of the day, I think I prefer the OG Suikoden combat system. Basically. Sorry, I'm really hungry. I wanna like eat while I talk, but I love the skill system. And I really love the skill system. And I don't know, I think it was interesting to try it, but I don't want them to use it again. I don't think I like the system as much as the other Suikoden games. Personally. Not really bad, but not my liking. That being said, the combat was still really fun. It was really fun to upgrade your skills. It was really fun to get like combo attacks, like swings and stuff. I think skill system, the skill points, they're a little greedy with skill points. It was really satisfying when you grinded like your characters up and really built them, but it took a lot of micromanaging because you had to go out of your way for those skill points and stuff. But when you did, it was super satisfying. Some things I don't like about the combat. It's like a pseudo-tactical game. You can't really control where your units move to. The fire rune sucks because it has friendly fire, which makes sense for the story, but you never want to use it because you can't control where your units are going to. I also don't like that the game doesn't give you a resurrecting option for so long. That being said, I probably should have been using the sacrificial Jizos more. Because those, like, get you up like reversal dolls. I should have been using those more, probably. But I wish they gave us a res option sooner. And what else? I think. But the combat was fine. It wasn't bad, but I prefer the other Suikoden game combat systems. The spell animations look awesome, though. And it was really satisfying to attack war battles. I think on paper, war battles are really neat. I think I like war battles more than Suikoden 2, but I don't like them as much as Suikoden 1 or Eiyuden Chronicle. I think what it comes down to is the war battles themselves are cool, but so many of them are like stall or scripted. So you don't really get to like utilize the war battles until late in the game. The fun war battles, the kind of fun war battles are at the end of the game because you don't get to like customize your units or like the other ones are scripted. You have to like guard a lot and defend and buy time. So war battles, the actual war battles themselves are pretty good, but there are not that many where you can actually win, so they don't like get to their potential basically. So that's one thing I didn't really like. Yeah. The Trinity Sight system is really cool because it gives more screen time to characters, and it's a good way to utilize the 108 Stars of Destiny and more characters. I think for the most part, the Trinity Sight system was really good. I liked seeing different perspectives of the story. You got everyone's side of the story. Like, you got to do Chris's chapter, you got to see why Chris was doing things. You play Hugo's chapter, you see that Chris kills Lulu and the Zexan Knights start the fire. We know it's Luke later, but at the time we think it's the Knights, and we're like, why did that happen? How did that happen? But then you play Chris's chapter, you get like a new perspective. I am going to say this, it's not going to be for everyone. I think there's going to be people who don't like the Trinity Sight system. I think it's a love or hate thing. I think you either love it or you hate it. Like, some people might not like it, and that's fine. I really liked it, though. It gave a good insight. One of the drawbacks of it is it might feel repetitive, but I think Suikoden 3 did a good job at making the chapters feel different. Like, even if we were meeting up with people and talking to people, it still felt different. Like, doing Chris's chapter 1 and then Hugo's chapter 1 felt different. It didn't feel like that much of a rehash, so that was good. They did a good job with that. There was something else I wanted to say. But yeah, I thought that was really good. Yeah. Oh, we have more? More cutscenes? Oh, Lekna, hey, what's up? So you've returned. Oh, is this like Lucas' spirit? I will answer if I see anything with these sightless eyes. Wheel of Destiny is heavy for a man to turn, but it's not impossible. I'm the executor of the balance. I have no tears to shed. Luke, you challenged God like a fool. You disregarded a million lives with a cursed soul, but I forgive you and bless you. Yeah, so this is Luke. You're human too. I bless your soul. Alright, are we done so I can continue talking about the game? My apprentice, my son, child of a cursed rune, you're a human child, one that can sleep now. Even though destiny can be brutal, it will allow you to rest. 108 stars will bless you. Man is powerful enough to change destiny. Man, the 108 stars wasn't really a premise for like this game. It was kind of just like, oh, it's a Suikoden game. So of course you have to get the stars. No matter how futile our struggles seem, they all make a difference. Is that Sarah? Smaller one? At the end? Ah, it's a nice little image. That's Luke, Sarah, and Leknat. Man, Leknat showed up at the very end of the game. That's crazy. She only showed up in like this epilogue. Alright. The fin screen for Suikoden 2 is really good too. You see like in one of them you see Joey by himself. It's if you get the standard ending, you see Joey like hanging out on Tenzin Pass on his own. But then the one I got, or I think it's the true ending, you get Ryu, Nanami, and Joey. It's really good. Alright. Something else I thought of, I'm kind of just jumping around points, but Trinity Size System was really good. Like, I can understand if someone doesn't like it, because I think it's just a personal preference. I think some people might just not like it, and that's fair. Something that Suikoden 3, another big issue with Suikoden 3, is the backtracking. The backtracking is terrible. You don't get Vicky until, like, Chapter 4, which is, like, 20 to 30 hours later. You don't get Vicky to teleport you for that long, so you have to do a lot of backtracking, and a lot of people say like, oh, do you mind that you have to go through the same areas? I don't mind. I wouldn't be surprised if someone minded that. I don't mind personally. It's not the fact that I have to go through all the areas. It's just there's a lot of times where Suikoden 3 has you backtrack and you have to actually go through the areas. And the random encounter rate isn't super high, but the backtracking is annoying. It feels like it pads the game a bit, and it's just annoying. So the backtracking was terrible for chapters 1 to 3. I didn't like that. I think that's like one of the worst things about Suikoden 3. Outside of the Water Dragon. The Water Dragon was also a very bad boss. I didn't like that boss fight. But yeah. So backtracking is one of the issues with Suikoden 3. The Water Dragon is an issue with Suikoden 3. And while I did like chapter 6 and it gave us insight into Luke, I don't think the solution was not expanding on his motives in the main game, I guess this is like post game. The solution wasn't to hide his motives and like a deep insight into Luke in chapters 1 to 5 and make it exclusive to an 108 Star of Destiny ending. So I don't think that was the solution. I would prefer if they, like, you can have the Luke chapter be an 108 Star of Destiny route, that's fine. But they should have done even a bit more with Luke in the first 5 chapters. In the main chapters, they should have done a bit more with him. And then, if you wanted to be like, alright, well, this is really cool stuff. I feel satisfied, but I want to know more. Then they could have been like, oh, but if you get all 108 stars, you will do that. So, that's cool. I mean, that's not terrible. It's just, I would prefer it done that way. That's not like a bad thing. That's just a nitpick. I just prefer it that way. So yeah. The story I think is really good. I think the story's really good. The story fumbles in chapters 4 to 5 though. I hate to say it. I think when the characters come together, I think the story fumbles. I think everything is perfectly good up until chapter 4. You have the awesome Flame Champion revelations. Then you have Godot, Chris, and Hugo meeting up. But then after that, I think everything just fumbles. It feels like not much is really happening. Like, despite there being, like, this giant war and, like, your Flame Champion character leads the war and everything, it's about uniting the tribes and clans, which is really good, a really nice message. It feels like not a lot happens, though. It feels like the game's events just kind of... It feels like you're waiting for something really hype to happen, and nothing really does. Because I think, as great as chapters 1 to 3 were, on their own, they're, like, whatever, but as great as it is as a whole... You're expecting chapters 4 and 5 to be better, but they're not. They're kind of anticlimactic. unfortunately. I feel like the game, it feels a little rushed in chapters 4 to 5. It feels like they wanted to maybe do a bit more, but they didn't have time to. Another thing I don't like, and again, this probably would have went into more time to make the routes varied, but I don't like how, for me, I picked Hugo as the Flame Champion. Godot, like, disappears in the game whenever there's, like, more of them. Like, there were still the sections where you played as Godot and Chris, that was cool. But Godot, like, disappears. You don't really get to see Godot. He didn't even show up at the ending, which is stupid. I think that's dumb. And I assume if you pick, because I was told if you pick Godot as the Flame Champion, you get the scene of him and Caleria, so Hugo and Chris wouldn't even be at the ending. But I think, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know this for sure because I've only played the game once, obviously, and I think one day I'll try the other Flame Champions. I have that save file. By the way, I know I can press X, but I want to just talk at the screen. I'm sure if you pick Godot as your Flame Champion, Chris might be in the cutscenes instead of... She might be in the cutscenes and Hugo might disappear. Or maybe not, I don't know. But then if you pick Chris, maybe Hugo will... I don't know how it works, but one of the protagonists, like, disappears, and that kind of feels like they either didn't have the time or the budget to add more unique scenes with that character. That kind of feels like they stripped the third protagonist because they didn't have time or budget. Which is unfortunate. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I think the story kind of falls flat, chapters 4 to 5. It's super underwhelming. It's just not as good. I think the overall message is good, but, like, there's like, no substance, I feel like. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, the Flame Champion's here, he unites the clans, there's a war, you gotta stop Luke, you find out. The reveal of Luke was awesome, by the way. Really hype moment for having played Suikoden 1 and 2. Because Suikoden 1 and 2, Luke wasn't super relevant to the story. He wasn't relevant, but it was always clear that Luke's role was to aid the Stars of Destiny and aid Tyr and Ryu respectively in their respective games. He was just going along with whatever Leknat told him to. Leknat was kind of just giving him orders, and he was kind of just going along with things. And to kind of see him take his own path in Suikoden 3... because he's tired of his fate and everything, is a really good message. Like, I think Luke is a pretty good antagonist for that alone. So, again, I don't think you get that much connection with him if you haven't played Suikoden 1 and 2. If you've only played Suikoden 3, you'll probably think he's underwhelming. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, story falls flat, chapters 4 to 5, unfortunately. Recruiting was pretty good. Like, there was no annoying recruits in this game, and no one was really missable, which was really good. I did like that. What else? Mounts were really cool. Really liked mounts. I liked Chris getting a horse at times, and Hugo riding Fubar was really cool. Unites were awesome, and Unite attacks and etc. That was really cool. I'm just thinking of stuff I haven't talked about. Music was awesome. I think this is my favorite Suikoden OST. I think Eiyuden Chronicle has the better battle themes, but I think overall OST, I think Suikoden 3 is my favorite. I think it had some of the best music in Suikoden of the ones I played. So that was really good. What else? We talked about the story. The characters. I like the characters. I think they're good. There are some really good ones. I don't think they're as strong characters as, like, Suikoden 2, but there are some pretty good ones. Like, the protagonists are really good. I'd rank them Chris number 1, Hugo number 2, Godot number 3. I really liked Godot's group, like Isla, Joker was cool, but I meant to say Ace, Queen, Isla, they were awesome. Jax, I liked him a lot. I really liked, Lily was fun at times, also hateable, but in a funny kind of way, if you get what I mean. You got, like, Chris's Zex and Knights group, they were pretty good. Chris's growth in this game, definitely the highlight. I think Chris is, like, one of the standout characters in this game. Like, this game doesn't have too many standout characters. They were good, but there's not really a standout character besides Chris. I think Chris is, like, one of the standouts. Other than that, they're all really good. They're really good. Sergeant Joe was cool, and then you had, like, trying to think. You had some other ones like Emily and Vicky, and they were all really good. Some really good Stars of Destiny. So yeah, there were some good characters in the game. I don't think they were, like, awesome, like the best ever, but, like, they were good. They were good. Mostly the protagonists, because they're not silent. I think that's another thing. This game actually doesn't have silent protagonists, which is really good. But Godot's group really shined. Like, Godot's group, they shined a lot. And I don't know. Cecile, I didn't really care about Thomas and Cecile that much. I know Thomas and Cecile are they're pretty beloved, I think. I think a lot of people like them, but I didn't really care for them that much, to be honest. But yeah. Like, they weren't bad, but I didn't really care for them. Thomas's chapters, I'm not going to be too hard on the game for this, because they're optional. But I don't like Thomas's chapters. If I play this game again, I will do Thomas's chapter 1, because that's required to get a Star of Destiny. I will not do his chapter 2. I don't like Thomas's chapters. That being said, I can't hold it against the game, because you don't even need to do them. I think you only need to do his chapter 1, I was told, for the Stars of Destiny. So, if you don't like them, don't do them. That's why I'm not going to count that as a criticism, but I just want to say I didn't like those chapters. Like, at all. But yeah. And then, like, I don't know, like, combat was, again, it could be fun, but I prefer Suikoden 1, 2, and Daijuden Chronicle. Like, I thought the pair system was interesting, but then there were a lot of annoyances, like, oh, your characters move and you don't know where they're going to move to. And again, the fire rune couldn't reach its full potential because you would have to kill some of your characters because you don't know where they're going to move. And then, again, stuff like you have to rely on sacrificial Jizos to resurrect, which I guess isn't inherently bad. And also, rune magic isn't good until later. I think the early game of Suikoden 3 doesn't really pop off until you like get more skills and until you get more magic runes, because magic can be interrupted. So until you can upgrade those elemental runes, you can't really utilize it that well. So it wasn't, I think the end game did kind of pop off. There was a lot more customization with the game. Like the skill system, really good. Loved the skill system in this game. So, at the end of the day, I'd say the combat was solid, but not the strong suit of the game. Not what I was playing the game for. But it wasn't, like, all bad. It had its moments, definitely. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk about? I will give this game... I'll give this game an 8. 7 to an 8 out of 10. I don't know. I kind of want to say an 8, but the story kind of fell off chapters 4 to 5. Like, there isn't much game left after chapters 4 to 5, but there was enough game where they could have done stuff, and they didn't. So, that was unfortunate. They didn't really do anything with chapters 4 to 5, but that being said, I think there wasn't much game. I think the solution was either two things. One, add more substance to what they had, or two, they could have made chapters 1 to 3 like a bit shorter so they can make more room for chapter 4 to 5. It kind of feels like the budget got the better of them, budget and time. I feel like it might be a budget issue. Like, I feel like they wanted to do more. Like, the message is here. It feels like a finished game, but just it lacks the substance in chapters 4 to 5. Like, if that makes sense. Like, the game feels unfinished in terms of, like, it feels like there are events missing. Like, it feels like chapters 4 to 5... It feels like they have an end goal, but it feels like they're missing some events that lead up to it, where it feels anticlimactic. That's the best way to put it. I don't know how else to describe it. Am I not able to leave the screen? Well, I'm probably not able to leave the screen. I was going to try pressing start again, but this is where we end the playthrough again. Or end the playthrough. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to be too hard on it. It feels like the budget just kind of got the better of them. Because if I understand the message, and I understand what the story was, and what it was trying to do, and it did it for the most part, but chapters 4 to 5 needed more. They just needed more, is what it comes down to. Overall, though, Suikoden 3 was really good, really awesome game. I'd recommend it. But if you can, I'd recommend playing Suikoden 1 and 2 first, because I think one of the best things about Suikoden 3 was a continuation of 2. Like, there were so many callbacks to Suikoden 1 and 2. There were so many Stars of Destiny returning. They were older and everything. There were so many callbacks to Suikoden 1 and 2 that if you play Suikoden 3 on its own, you'll probably still enjoy it, I'm sure. But I think you get the most enjoyment from playing the first two games. I think playing Suikoden 1, 2, and 3 as like a continuous trilogy, I think that's the best experience right there. Like, I think you will enjoy Suikoden 3 more if you played 1 and 2. That's my recommendation. Like, playing Suikoden 3 on its own, not bad. But if you have the option to play Suikoden 1 and 2, I'd recommend it. Because I think you'll enjoy the game more as a result. So yeah. Also dungeons. There weren't that many, like, dungeons in the game. I don't know if I consider that, like, a negative or a positive. It's just weird. Really weird. And honestly, I think another thing about the game that I'm going to talk about, it's a little slow. I think it suffers a bit from PS2 slog because it was their first 3D game. It's not like terrible. I don't think it being slow is like a game breaker. I still enjoy the game enough, but there were some parts of the game, like when I was having to redo progress or when I was trying to like backtrack an area, I noticed like, man, could the game be a little quicker? It wasn't like awful, but it could be a little faster. But the game is old. It's like 2002, so it's also their first 3D game, so I don't want to be too hard on them for that. They made a banger. They made a banger. Suikoden 3 is very much a banger, and I look forward to playing more Suikoden. We're going to do Suikoden 4, Suikoden 5, all the spin-offs, and then one day we'll go back to, sometime after that, we'll go back to Suikoden 1 and 2 to recruit everyone. I'm super excited because this game was awesome. I want to restart the game and let the opening play one last time before we wrap up this playthrough. I'm gonna get copywritten, but I don't care. It's a banger. The opening was amazing, by the way. Best Suikoden opening, for sure. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed Suikoden 3. It was a really fun game. I'm really glad I played it, and I look forward to playing Suikoden 4. Suikoden 4 will happen soon. We might do Claire Obscure's post-game first, or we might do it right after, but it's gonna come soon. We'll get to Suikoden 4 really soon, then Suikoden 5, and then other Suikoden stuff. This series is... I'm interested in the lore, and it's really fun, so I want to play the other games. But yeah, I will see you all for more Suikoden playthroughs. Suikoden 4 coming really soon. This has been Nova, signing off. Peace.